try this again. Today is the 22nd of July. Sorry I got interrupted in the last attempt to do a video by my phone. I'm glad I took the phone call though. It sounded like a real possibility for me to get a maintenance man and a person to show some of my properties up in northwest Missouri. I'm really needing to get somebody up there to do some deferred maintenance and get some of I got 3 properties I need to get leased out. Well, like I started out this morning in saying that I used to get real upset when my mom would come in and she'd say, "Rise and shine." And I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to rise and I didn't want to shine. I wanted to pull the pillow over my head and keep sleeping. You ever feel that way? I know I do. I often said I've thought about investing in a round bed so I wouldn't get up on the wrong side. But anyway, we used to sing this song. We're all in our places with bright, shiny places. Good morning to you, good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. Good morning to you. Well, sometimes we don't, we're not all in our places with bright, shiny faces, are we? But like I said a while ago before I got the phone call, we can read in Ephesians, the 3rd chapter, beginning with the 21st verse. This I recall to my mind, therefore have I hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because the compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. Now I've unplugged my phone, so I know I'm not going to get interrupted on this one. Okay. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul, therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. The Lord will not cast us off forever. Well, I'm glad to know that God's mercies are new every morning. You know, it's getting harder and harder to find people that want to work. I used to do all my own maintenance, my plumbing, my electrical, my roofing, my mowing my lawn, painting. I used to do all of that. I used to live on site, or right down the street from my properties, and I used to take care of all that. But I'm unable to do it anymore. You know, I physically can't do it. So I have to hire people to come in and do these things for me. And I'm finding that people just don't want to work anymore. They'd rather smoke the weed, you know. Let's just get high together, you know. Can you believe how many vape places there are around in our society anymore? You know, it's nothing, it's just like alcohol. It's an escapism. You know, we all have our escapes. I have this little game I like to play on my computer with the ball game, the colored balls, aligning the balls. It gets my mind off of things. But you know, our mind should be centered on Christ. My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name. On Christ's solid rock I stand. All other ground is sinking sand. You know, you can go to YouTube, you can see all of this garbage. People, it's just like a gossip column. This person running this person down, this person running this person down. Slander and contention and strife. You know, it's like the modern day soap opera, isn't it? Christ is the one that we look to for our sustenance, our hope, our life, and the afterlife. I've done several messages on feelings are fickle. If I went by my feelings, I would not be doing well, because I'm a person that tends to look at life from a pretty negative perspective. I'm a landlord. Remember, I tell people I'm not a landlord, I'm a land servant. I've heard all the lies that you've ever heard in your life. I can't do this, I stubbed my toe yesterday, whatever. You've heard the saying about a guy that he used to come up and wanted to borrow everything from me. He wanted to borrow my tape measure, he wanted to borrow my hammer, he wanted to borrow my wrench, and one day he came up and said, could you loan me your axe? And I said, nope, can't do it. He said, why won't you loan me your axe? I said, well, because my wife's making vegetable beef soup today. He goes, what does your wife making vegetable beef soup have to do with you loaning me your axe? I said, absolutely nothing, but one excuse is just as good as another. If you can't tell, I'm in kind of a crazy mood today. This last weekend, I went up to our properties in Weatherby, Missouri, our rental properties, and I had to go in and change some locks because people kept trying to steal from me. People have no ethics anymore. When they decide to leave and no longer pay rent, they steal the refrigerators, they steal the heaters, they steal the window air conditioners, they'll steal you blind. And if I tried to beat them up, they'd put me in jail. You want to know why I have just kind of a jaded sense of humor? You get tired of being stolen from all the time, Well, you say, well, why are you dumping on us, Larry? I'm trying to get us to see that the only way we can be all in our places with bright, shiny faces is if God gives us the strength. Think of all the great things God has done for us. I mentioned earlier, I used to have a journal, and I'd write in there, and then I'd go back later and look at my journal, and it was a great blessing to see all the things God has brought me. Just like this morning, that guy calling, saying that he needed he wanted to do some maintenance work. That was an answer to prayer. I needed somebody. In Him we live and move and have our being. I was actually thinking about selling out lock, stock, and barrel. Sell the mobile home park, sell my other rental properties, and just sit at home and play my little color ball game. Well, I hope this is an encouragement to you if you're going through some things this morning. Rise and shine. And don't forget Lamentations. Don't forget that passage in Lamentations I read you a while ago from Lamentations 3. This I recall to my mind, therefore have I hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because His compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. May the good Lord be with you today in a special way is my prayer. God bless.